Hello, I'm Scott Rickson, your local transformation expert, and I'm here to tell you why you're being unsuccessful with your fat loss and how you can turn that all around today in just 3 very simple steps. Now, without professional intervention, we know that only 2% of you will lose fat and keep it off 2 years from now. In order to be part of that 2%, here is what you need to know, and here are what the steps you need to follow. All right, step number 1. Know your numbers. You need to know how many calories a day you personally are allowed. Without this information, any nutritional plan you put together will be based on an approximation and could be the difference between your success or your failure body fat percentage. This number will tell you the ratio of body fat to lean muscle tissue. Your weight will fluctuate daily as a result of all these variables. Isn't the best way of gauging your progress. Body fat won't have these inaccurate fluctuations and is essentially what you were targeting in the first place. So obviously the metric you most want to pay attention to. Now you can get calipered or zap yourself with a good set of scales or use a BCA machine for this info. Weight, measure this only every 2 weeks to track trends. Circumferences, do a tape measure around your widest point, track your inches, trust me, this metric will become so important to you as your program progresses. I promise you now, in your darkest moments, knowing these metrics will motivate you. We all have days when we feel heavy, where you've been cutting down your carbohydrates and exercising more, but yet you weigh more. If you have other metrics in front of you showing that you are in fact going the right way, with less inches and less body fat, for example, you are far less likely to throw your hands up in the air and go, oh, sod it. Now, step 2. Put together smart, realistic goals with realistic expectation. Take these numbers and apply the wisdom. Predict where you should be after 2 weeks, where you should be after 6 weeks, and where you should be after 12 weeks. The ratio of loss should approximately be, now listen clearly here, 1% of body fat per week. That's 2 to 3 pounds of weight a week, or half an inch a week. Now, step 3 is strategy. So how are you going to achieve these goals? God, how long do you have? All right, I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. Everyone responds to different methods differently, but there are a couple of totally unescapable facts. 1, if you lose it really quickly, it will come back just as fast. Huge calorie deficits are unsustainable and damage the body long term, making it so much harder for you to lose weight next time. We all know someone that's lost a bunch of weight really fast at some point on some program or scheme, and they've gained it all back again. Or if they haven't, it hasn't been long enough yet. 2, if your method is not enjoyable and causes you to associate pain, eventually your caveman or woman brain is going to throw in the towel. Now, here's what I can tell you about all the successful people that I've ever trained. It was always a sustained lifestyle change that took a great deal of emotional engagement. They were consistent with their method and they found a way to enjoy, that's right, enjoy the process. That's crazy. How could you possibly enjoy the process? The short-term answer is drugs, and the long-term answer is that progress is a fundamental of well-being. So you can learn to love the chemical that the brain rewards you with for exercising correctly and for eating the right things. You can actually fall in love with being packed full of energy and vitality on a day-to-day. You can get hooked on the feeling you get when people tell you how great it is that you're starting to look. Looking at yourself 4 to 5 weeks into a properly structured program, when you have this enormous amount of momentum moving you towards a goal that perhaps you've had for a decade, is unbelievably motivating across all the different platforms that are in your life. When people think of dieting and losing weight, they think of laborious meetings, watching the scales, salads, and a lot of time failure and self-loathing. Dieting for a lot of people is taking a giant leap into as much perceived pain as they can handle before their willpower simply runs out. I'm telling you right now, with the right program, it does not have to be a tool like that at all. Finally, to be successful long term, you must find a way to enjoy your exercising. Know that you can get the same feeling from healthy foods as you can with large quantities of overly familiar carbohydrates. You just have to look for the ideas and the inspiration. Know that the process can be as enjoyable as the rewards. If you don't agree, you haven't found the right program yet. Yes, it's hard. One of the hardest things that you will ever have to do, as a sustainable weight loss goal is all-encompassing. But consider this your Everest and find a way to enjoy the climb. Now, I want you guys to check out Namolka's journey. Namolka was in a very similar situation to a lot of you out there, wanting to transform but not knowing quite yet how. So click the link and check out how she turned it all around after her one BCA transformation session.